Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. You're at the spot, the place, where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Did you bring your thinking caps? It's time to put them on, because the conversation starts now.
So,
What?
what?
Brains, who does that? Elaine the Brain, okay?
Elaine the Brain. Yep.
That's right. This is Elaine Turso. And we're going to talk about some business stuff, some intuitive stuff, some grammar stuff, some CRM. What does that look like? Because she's busy. She's juggling a lot of balls. And doing all that, we want to talk a little bit about work-life balance. When is there time for you? What do you do for you? So, Brains, let's welcome her to the show. Hello, Elaine.
Hello, friend. How are you?
I can't complain about nothing. As I told you, I'm in a good space.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes work. It takes work, and it takes delegation.
Yes.
And efficiency.
Yes.
And I hear that you are the queen of that, because you're going to talk to us a little bit about optimization of the workforce. And I'm going to challenge you on that, because everybody's afraid of AI and what it's going to do. There's certain things that it can't do. I'll give you an example of that. But before we get started, Elaine, tell my brains a little bit about you and how you show up in the world.
Well, my nickname is Elaine the Brain because I get intuitive pop rocks when I talk to people, which is really fun for business. But I started out as a photographer. I retired in 2019 and decided I wanted to help other business owners with their businesses. Started getting into business coaching, and then I decided I love doing done for you. And my business bestie yelled at me and said, "Why aren't you charging people for that?" And I was like, no. So I decided to add done for you services into my business coaching. So it's like a one-stop shop for business owners. We do branding, we do websites, we do their CRM setup, we do all the things that they need in order to streamline and elevate, grow their business.
People just are not thinking. Brains, I tell you all the time, you need multiple revenue streams. The hustle is real. And if you could bake some cookies in between that, do that too. Because one place you can't be relying on. The customer base is changing. The marketing is ever evolving. You've got to stay ahead of the game. Okay, perfect example. I'm on the airplane with this gentleman, and I know he probably thought I was on drugs, because girl, I talked to him all the way from Utah to San Diego. Nonstop. I don't even think I caught my breath. Okay, but I was kicking him some knowledge, and he's talking about a highbrow brick and mortar that they're going to be opening here in San Diego, and that's why he was coming out. And I said, for someone to be excited about going to a brick and mortar, what is a differentiator than ordering it online? What is the special attention that you're giving them? Are you maybe in this space utilizing it because it's a real trendy, bougie part of San Diego? Maybe you host a book club there, or maybe you have someone come and talk about it's organic clothing, so renewable, sustainable things. And I just throw that out there, Brains, because you got to think big picture. You can go on Amazon and get anything under the sun because somebody's retailing to them. But when you're building a business and you're building a brand, it takes a lot, Elaine. Give us some of your suggestions and some of the things that you've seen happen in this environment.
So one of the things that I'm really, really adamant about whenever I work with a new client is that everything has to be built on your brand. And the brand is not about you. Your brand is about your customers. And we want to create a brand that attracts the customers so that they know that you're in alignment. And so I am very, very adamant about that every business that I work with, we must ensure that your brand and everything we do is in alignment. If it's not in alignment, we don't do it. And when it comes to like online versus, like a brick and mortar, I love to use this example of a boutique. So there's this boutique that I love to shop at. And the reason that I continue to go there and not buy the stuff online is because of the service that I receive.
Absolutely.
Right? They treat me like I'm a VIP every time I go in there. They write my name on the door. They're finding outfits for me. They're finding accessories. They are truly trying to help me feel my best and look my best every time I walk into that store. Am I going to pay more money for that experience? Yes, I am. Do I complain about it? No, I don't, because
Absolutely.
I'm paying extra for that service. And if you just want a little something delivered to your door, that's what you're choosing. But you can't expect to receive the same amount of service online versus an in-store sort of boutique
Oh,
situation.
and
So,
again, like I said, but they have to expand on that boutique,
yes.
utilize that space because,
Mm-hmm.
okay, racks, and you got an employee sitting there that you're now going to pay $18 an hour, and the
Mm-hmm.
clothes are looking at her. You got to teach them
Mm-hmm.
how to upsell.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you have to do also when you are optimizing a business. You
Yep.
have to think of, is it service oriented? Are customers going to
Mm-hmm.
continuously come back? What kind of customer service experience am I giving them? That's
Mm-hmm.
what they want now. Am I answering the
Yes.
phone, or do I have an automated system? All of this kind of stuff is different.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about what an SEO is and a CRM.
So SEO is search engine optimization. And basically that is like you telling Google how to let customers find you. So keywords, titles, descriptions, every photo on your website should have some sort of optimization in there. If you've ever done a Google search for like a specific photo and you're like, oh, I search my name all the time and I find other people that have my name.
Oh,
But
wow.
it's because the title and the descriptions and all of that stuff, it matters, and it helps you be found. So I highly encourage people, and you can use ChatGPT to say, help me optimize my website. Absolutely. But there are also specialists out there that do things that ChatGPT cannot do for you.
Mhm.
Same with the CRM. So CRM stands for Customer Relationship Manager. Think of it as your database. Think of it as where you house your customers. And then from there, what do you want to do with them? How do you want to communicate with them? So a CRM allows you to communicate with your customers, collect data with them, and schedule appointments, send text messages, send emails, do orders, purchases, fill out a form, visit my website, all of the
Mm.
things um, can be done under one roof. And so that is essentially what a CRM is. What
Okay.
I
Well,
do.
I'm
Mhm.
sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Tell me what you do.
So what I do is I help people set that up because it can feel really overwhelming, especially if you're not a super tech savvy person to try to figure out where to go and where to put what and how to click and all the things. I want to help people stay in their zone of genius, which is helping their customers, and I'll stay in my zone of genius, which is doing all the tech stuff behind the scenes.
Hmm. Well, it sounds fun, and you did answer my question because, you know, customer relationship management is key.
It is.
But sometimes it can be overkill. Girl, let me just tell you, some people can send you so many emails, it just turns my skin upside down to the point where I just unsubscribe because I'm tired of seeing your name. And it's
Yeah.
not how much content you put out there, it's the open rate. What kind
Yep.
of responses that are you getting from that? So also you're going
Yep.
to teach your clients how to go in and measure and monitor and
Mhm.
see what kind of results they're getting, because that's a lot of content putting out there just, for shit and giggles.
Yeah, you gotta, in my opinion, every time I reach out to my email list, it is with intention. It is not always to sell them something. I rarely use my email list to sell. I use my email list to communicate and, hey, I'm having this class, or I'm looking for speakers, or whatever it is that I'm doing. But I do it with intention and not just willy-nilly and always trying to sell something, because that's how you're going to get unsubscribed, right? People don't want to be sold to all the time.
They don't. And they want it to be about them, not
Yes.
just about, I'm presenting this to you,
Mm-hmm.
how you
Mm-hmm.
doing, that kind of thing. Okay, so that's fun and engaging. Let's talk a little bit about a podcast that you host. Tell us something
Mm-hmm.
about that.
So I host a podcast called Bitch and Brainstorm, and
Nice.
it's a live coaching podcast. And basically, what I do is I allow people that are feeling stuck to come on my podcast, and I give them advice. And we tap into my intuitive pop rocks and see what kind of messages come through. So I give them 10 minutes to bitch and tell me what's not working in their business. And then the rest is focused on strategy and giving them like real life examples and tools of what they can do to implement, what action they can take into their business in order to change it. Because, sometimes we need to know that um, the same problem is going to happen over and over and over again until you try something different. So
Right.
I want to help stop that in its tracks and give them other things to try to improve whatever is not working for them. Whether they're like, my marketing strategy sucks, or I'm not getting any customers, or I'm not sure which offer to go with, or whatever. That's what I do. That's what I do.
Wow. So what got you in that space? Why do you want to be so organized, girl? That or I'm looking at my desk right now, and I'm like, I wish she was here. I'd hire her to just get me organized.
Okay, let me just say for right now, I'm not at my desk right now, but my desk is organized chaos.
Wow.
So
My
I,
mother would always say, "Girl, you can't make no money if there's a mess on your desk." And I was like, "Okay, but I'm reaching for stuff. I'm constantly moving,
Mhm, I know where it is.
but you got to have you again. You have to create abundance.
Hmm.
Okay, you have to
Hmm.
expand your capacity. You have to
Hmm.
shed and discard of things that no longer serve you.
Hmm.
And that is all a part of the mindset mastery of abundance and growing. Because
Yep.
if you're just all crowded and contained and you can't find it, you'd be like a rat in a maze.
Yep.
So, with your intuitive rocks, how do you encourage your people to expand?
Mm. It's all about intuition. And, I'm sure you've heard or have experienced the woman's intuition. Our gut knows when something's not right. Our gut knows when this is the right path, when it is not the right path. And I really want to encourage people they come to me because they're not listening and they're afraid of what their intuition is telling them because maybe it's new, maybe it's scary, maybe they've never done that before. And they're like, I don't even know. So they come to me, and what I give them is reassurance.
Mm,
And sometimes I will say something that is confirmation of something they just said to their friend yesterday. And they're like, whoa, wait a minute. And I'm like, because it's the right path. Right. So I'm a firm believer. If you hear something once, you take note.
mm,
If you hear something twice, you better really pay attention because if you hear it three times, it's going to knock you on your butt.
right, right,
So
absolutely. Or you know what? You may not even get a third chance because I
that's
know
right.
I have some conversations with God, and
Mhm.
I asked him one time. I said, God, could you slow down this information? I said, because you've given me a whole lot of stuff. And he said, you know what? I'm giving you all the pieces. What you gonna do with them?
Mhm.
And so you have to understand these downloads.
Mhm.
But timing is everything. And
Yeah.
without disclosing too much, I'm meeting with a friend of mine, and we're going into this business venture very independently, but collaboratively brainstorming together. But we're going to be
Mhm.
going our own separate ways. That's the intention from the get go. But when one person is like on overflow and the other
Mhm.
person is just kind of mediocre,
Mhm.
it's hard to create that synchronicity.
Yes.
So when you have a coach or you have someone like Elaine to work with, that's a facilitator. They don't have that emotional attachment. You know,
Yes.
they care about you as the person, of course,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
ingrained in the nuts and bolts and dotting the I's and crossing the T's. Sometimes when you're a visionary and you want to grow and expand, you go out on a whim, don't you think?
Absolutely. And sometimes you're going to feel like you're throwing spaghetti at the wall and
Mhm.
trying to see what sticks. And I will tell you what, I would prefer that than throwing no spaghetti at all. I would prefer that people try things out, just like, dating, or it's trying on a pair of pants, try to find the ones that fit correctly. I would rather that people try over and over and over and over again than take no action at all. My favorite story of resilience is around James Dyson and the Dyson vacuum cleaner, because that man made over 5,000 prototypes before it worked the way he wanted it to. And so, can you imagine if we gave up after the first time that it didn't work,
Oh, yeah, please.
right?
And again, Brains, what we want you to look at is not the fact that it didn't work, but what didn't work about what didn't work.
Right. And what did you learn about how to do it differently the next time? So I don't believe in failure, right? I believe in opportunity for growth. And if I try something and it doesn't work, guess what? I can say, I wonder why that didn't work. Let me try it this way and try again. But you have to keep going and just know that just because it didn't work the first time, just because you didn't put out a viral video the first time, doesn't mean that you're not going to try again. So I am a firm believer in never giving up. And consistency and frequency are really the key to the success that you want to achieve. It's not, you got to give it the good college try, which I call 6 months. You got to give it at least 6 months before you pull the plug and decide that this is
I
just
tell
not
my
working.
daughter all the time, you are what you eat and you are who you hang around. And if you
Mm-hmm.
put that low vibration,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I feel like I'm being electrocuted or something because it's awful. And again, but that is an expectation of me. Everybody's not at that frequency, Elaine.
Yep.
And it's unfair of me, and I'll
Mm-hmm.
say brains, to be up here
Mm-hmm.
and not dealing with somebody that's down here, but somebody that's not even trying to grow, not
Yeah.
no fluctuation, nothing. They just stagnant. I've
Mhm.
got concern with that.
Yeah.
But also with all of these gifts, it's great to be a great networker.
Yes.
Okay. And there's a skill to networking, I have found. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
give you mine and then Elaine, you tell me yours. So when I get to the event, I go from the buffet to the bathroom. I'm surveying the room. I want to overhear a conversation. I want to see who everybody's clamoring around. I want to see who's standing there kind of aloof. I want to gauge the crowd. I want to get the pulse of what's going on before I
Mm-hmm.
just jump right in, hand out my business cards. It's not
Mm-hmm.
about that. It's
Yep.
about strategically. If there's a room of 200 people, I tell you, I may have come on with 5 or 6 cards because the rest is fine, but they are not there to serve. Then the
Yeah.
follow up.
Yep.
When you have the conversation with that person, it's about them, it's not about you. You know all about you already.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
when it's your turn, then you have your 30-second elevator speech,
Mm-hmm.
but again, make it questionable to make them enticed about asking more about you.
Yeah.
I'll say I'm a podcaster. Oh my God, that just opens up Pandora's box. What's your
Mm-hmm.
podcast about? Where's it located? Da,
Mm-hmm.
da, da, da. So you don't
Mm-hmm.
have to say a lot. And then the follow up brains, what's the sense in going out there and doing it if you're not going to follow up and follow up
Mm-hmm.
immediately? People don't
Mm-hmm.
remember you a week later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I put a number of priority on who it is. Maybe not that day, but the next day, hey, it was great meeting you. Wouldn't like to follow up. Can we do a coffee chat? Can we do a Zoom? Blah, 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 blah. And don't make it long. And again, the last thing, like we were talking about before, inundating people with uh, when you get on Facebook. And then the first thing what you do is to like your page. I haven't felt your vibe. I don't know what kind of people you hang around that I want to
Yeah.
be associated with because you're collecting people like tokens. It's about quality brains, it's about
Yeah.
value. And
Yeah.
that's how I have built 25 years in this podcast. It's for
Mm-hmm.
looking for quality. I'm not looking for quantity. I don't need clickbait and I don't need
Mm-hmm.
a million followers. I need something
Mm-hmm.
that's going to turn to conversions. Am I
Mm-hmm.
talking too much?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm.
I gotta preach to them because they don't know how to utilize this stuff. And lastly, I said that the last time, but this is the lastly. Utilize the low hanging fruit.
Mm-hmm.
You've got 5,000 people you claim like, love, share you on one platform. How many you have on Instagram? How many you got on LinkedIn? How many TikTok? How many YouTube? Come on, brains. This is the modern day yellow pages. I don't know if y'all remember what the yellow pages were or the white pages. You'd open up the white pages and be all the Smiths. And if you were in marketing or sales, you call every one of the Smiths.
Mm-hmm.
Now you don't have to do that. You can see what Smith look like, smell like, and damn near taste like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they don't know how to use it, Elaine. They don't know how to use it. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't want everybody looking at me. If we're engaging and vibing and I can pop in and see what you're doing, support you, fine. There's 8 billion people on the planet. Really, brains? Really?
Mm-hmm.
And then you
Mm-hmm.
wonder why you don't have any anonymity and and all your businesses out there, good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
Go on, Elaine, you tell them because I just feel like they just don't get it.
So here's some tricks that I use when I do networking. So I'm a part of Polka Dot Powerhouse, and I actually facilitate a local chapter meeting, and I also run the diamond level of membership. And so I try to look at the rule of five. So when I'm showing up, I have an intention. My intention is to connect with five people, whether they're a brand new person, whether they are someone that I've connected with before, but it's been a while and we'd love to have a second date. Whatever that looks like. Someone I can help, someone who I want to maybe I want to introduce them to someone that I know that can help them, or vice versa. And sometimes just for fun, right? Just for fun. And I stopped calling my networking, like my one-on-ones, I stopped calling them coffee chats or anything like that. And I call them collaboration chats
Oh,
because I learned that from a gal named Heidi Medina, who I met on LinkedIn, and she's been a part of my summits. She calls them collaboration chats, and I said I'm stealing that, and I started using that, and it helps set the tone for the call. We are connecting to see if there's a potential collaboration. And so I'm very particular about that. The other thing I do is if I'm at an in-person thing, is I'm like, pull out your phone, let's find a date and time for us to connect before we leave this meeting. Because I know myself and I know that I'm going to be in my own way and I'm going to be afraid to reach out because I don't want to come off as pushy. So I know that if I'm like, oh my gosh, I would love to connect with you. The energy is really high at this meeting where everybody's vibing. I'm like, I would love to schedule a call with you, a connect with you. Let's pull out your calendar and let's find a time that works for both of us. I set it up before I leave because it now I've just removed the barrier of me following up with them, because I get in my own head, which is why I need automations in my life to help me get out of my own way and not be Sally the saboteur who makes an appearance, and tells me nobody wants to hear from me, all the crap. That's how I can avoid Sally showing up into the picture, is I have to take immediate action, and I do it while I'm at the meeting.
right, right. Again, and urgency is the key.
Hmm.
Um, when you
Hmm.
say building a brand,
Yeah.
I think it's so cute when people say, I'm rebranding, but you haven't solidified your presence
Hmm.
from the onset. You don't see
Hmm.
Coca-Cola changing their logo. They didn't have that polar bear forever. You don't see Walmart changing theirs, Target changing the bullseye. It's about consistency. And when
Hmm.
people can identify with that consistency, that creates longevity.
Hmm.
That's like me. I'm almost afraid to rebrand or get another brand because when you see, this little logo right here, you know exactly who you're dealing with.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
don't have to question it. Oh my God, I've seen it. Or when
Hmm.
I have named my audience brains because they're smart,
Hmm.
heady people that get it.
Hmm.
There's something that is that subliminal message that, um, not the subtitle. What do you call that? The tagline
Hmm.
that cements it in people.
Hmm.
Nike, you just need to see the check. You don't need to see anything else. So
Yep.
when you talk about helping people create their brand, that's very important if you're looking for longevity. You,
Hmm.
you really are, so people can identify with you. And I think Elaine has got all the pieces to the puzzle to put that together. So
Hmm.
let's ask you some fun questions.
Sure.
I asked you in the beginning of the interview here is, what are your hopes and dreams for
Mm.
grandbaby? What do you want to cement in her life, um,
Hmm.
as a grandmother?
I really hope that she finds whatever she's passionate about, and and has the privilege of being able to do whatever that is. And I also know that sometimes it takes a little while for you to figure out what that is, and that's okay. But I just want her to be filled with love and joy, and the support that if she ever wants to become an entrepreneur, well, she knows grandma knows exactly what to do.
Exactly. And we have to teach our children. So
Hmm.
many, I was with some friends of mine this weekend, and I was like, oh, she seemed a little tough. I guess because they didn't have a TV or a radio. I don't know. I just assumed. But he's a 14-year-old boy, and he's very disciplined. Uh,
Hmm.
she said, I asked you to take the trash out earlier. Oh, I apologize. I apologize. Just none of this other stuff that's going on in this crazy world that we live in. And to be a grandmother is to mean that you're elevated. That's
Hmm.
to support the daughter, to help
Hmm.
mentor, to mold, to
Hmm.
be kinder, sweeter, you know,
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
but a place of solace. And I think that being a grandmother is so special. My mother got to live to be a great grandmother. And
Hmm.
they said,
We have we have a great great grandma.
oh my God, see, and they
Hmm.
thought my mother was the coolest thing since sliced bread.
Mm-hmm.
Especially she asked them the question. She says, "Kids, I'd like to ask you a question. What is a booty call?" Wait, everybody's eyes got real big. And I said, "Mama, it's a telemarketer with the wrong phone number."
That's a good one.
So it's good to
Might have said a butt dial.
absolutely, absolutely. So, um, if you were an appliance in the kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
what appliance would you be?
Mm, probably a blender because I'm blending all the things together,
Yeah,
um, blending all the ideas, trying to figure out how to make something out of all the things, all the ingredients, and in one. Hmm.
yeah. Well, I change, what I want to do every now and then. So I think today I'd probably be the air fryer
Okay.
because it still makes it juicy and nice,
Hmm.
plump,
Hmm.
easy to
Hmm.
clean. It's innovative. It's healthy. Yeah, I think
Hmm.
I'd be the air fryer today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you were a flower in the garden, what flower would you be?
I love a dahlia.
Oh,
Dahlias are my favorite flowers, and they're full bloom right now. So they're
mm,
gorgeous. I love driving by all the places that have dahlias, and I just go, oh, because I can't. I do not have green thumbs.
oh.
I kill all the plants. I don't mean to, but it's just not my zone of genius.
What is that? I
I'm
see
I'm
plants
an
that.
admirer. Oh no, these are not mine. These are my daughters. She's got the green thumb. I do not. She did not get it from me. She was in garden club in high school.
Oh,
Um, but I'm an admirer of the gardens, not a contributor.
and if you could go back in time, stay here in the present, or project to the future, where do you see yourself landing?
Mm. I think I'm happy with where I am right now. I don't think there's nowhere that I need to go back and change anything because it's led me to where I am right now. So I would stay here. Hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people don't want to stay in the present. They want to go. You can't fix the past,
No.
and the past is a predictor for the future if you don't
Yeah,
learn the lesson in the present.
that's right.
Right? It's not rocket science.
Lessons will be repeated until learned. Hello.
Absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely.
Hmm.
And what is one of your guilty pleasures? What do you just do for yourself to just say, "Mwah, I love myself"?
So I have this thing called Lazy Sundays
Mm.
where I just lay in bed and I hang out with the dogs and I watch movies or I scroll on my TikTok. But it's the thing that I need to just rest my brain and do nothing mindlessly. So,
I know that's, and it feels
hmm,
so good uh,
hmm.
to be able to have peace of mind.
Yeah.
Last question I want to ask you is a little bit about work-life balance. Again, you're juggling a lot of balls, and
Hmm.
the work that you do is creative and innovative. It's not cookie cutter. There's not one template for one person.
Yep.
Everybody, this is custom work brains. This is by
Hmm.
design. Okay.
Yep.
And again, you pay what you pay for what you get.
Hmm.
Just want anything yourself, then keep doing what you're doing. But if you're
Hmm.
trying to elevate and expand, even learn how to optimize. I've got a girlfriend that has a business that just sent everything, unfortunately, but she sent it to an offshore processing company. But again, that's strategic. You got to look at your bottom line,
Hmm.
you know, what you're paying for. So having somebody like Elaine on your team is, I'm telling you, Brains, I think it's very, very valuable if you're trying to upscale. Okay. We all
Hmm.
should be trying to level up, go to our highest and
Hmm.
greatest good,
Hmm.
continue to dream. There's possibilities. And she's got intuitive rocks. You better call her. Oh, excuse me. So, Elaine, tell them a little bit about how to get in contact with you, how they
Hmm.
can work with you.
Yeah, you can literally Google my name, Elaine Turso, and I pop up. I'm all over Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, all the places. People can drop me an email. My website is elaineturso.com. Yeah, so I'm pretty accessible. I will give one little warning though, is because I used to be a photographer and I let my domain go. So guess what happened? A foreign company bought my old domain name and turned it into a gambling website. So don't click on elainetursophotography.com.
Okay, we won't put that out there, Brains. We're gonna put the
Don't click
right.
on that one
We're gonna
because
put
that
it
is
on the
not
right
me.
link. Yeah, I know, but people again, that's another marketing and optimization.
Hmm.
They want a landing page. They want the critical six: who,
Hmm.
what, when,
Hmm.
where, why, and how.
Yep.
I'm gonna be scrolling through 5 pages of a website, looking at your testimonials. Sometimes you want to put those on the front, but just researching all the events that you've been through and all the
Hmm.
classes that you've been through, or maybe even all the podcasts. You want to keep it current. You want to keep it as relevant
Yep.
as possible. People's
Hmm.
attention span is nano.
Yep.
They want it quick and slick. See, that's why I'm not on TikTok, because I kind of like to go through the process and all this kind of stuff. You gotta people, and not just kids, people too. They just don't have the time. They're saying,
Hmm.
"Hey, get to the point,"
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
we should have learned that years ago with advertising and commercials, because I'm fascinated by commercials. How they can get so much content, color, enthusiasm. It's a whole psychology
Yeah.
to that, you know.
Yeah. It really
And when
is.
they put that, and so it's great to have you do the work that you do, and I appreciate you, because again, you have to be smart. You got to be at the top of your game. So
Hmm.
Grace, I need you to dribble the ball my way and put me at the top of my game on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Love, like, share, and subscribe. We're on about 20 different Audible outlets. Share with a friend. Again, it may not be your zone of genius, but it might be information that you can share with someone else. You never know when you're going to start a business, and just being organized in the business of being a housewife. You can use that. So
Hmm.
contact Elaine, okay? And I want you to have a super good day. I love you guys so much. I do, I do, I do.